Here's why Lego Star Wars is dead in 2026. And I gotta say, I didn't want to make this video for two reasons. One, I don't like to complain about things like this. And two, whenever I make a video like this, they typically don't do well on YouTube. But please hear me out. I want my experience with Lego Star Wars to get out there. So if you're watching this, please comment whether you agree or disagree with me and why. Share this video with others because we as a Lego community and Lego Star Wars fans, we have a voice and our voices need to be heard. And that is the case yet again because Lego Star Wars has hit a new rock bottom. Before I explain why Lego Star Wars is dead, I want to explain my experience with this theme. I started building Lego Star Wars in 2014, and that's often when we as fans consider them to be in their prime. And therefore, I don't have nostalgia bias for this theme because I didn't grow up building it. I've been building Lego for over 15 years, and only 10 of those years at this point were Lego Star Wars. But I don't have the nostalgia, so this isn't nostalgia talking. Okay, now let me explain this. 6 months ago, I returned home from my 2-year church mission, and during that church mission, I didn't have access to the internet, so I couldn't look up new Lego sets. I also didn't know what was going on in the community, like on social media and whatnot. I came home and began looking at the new Lego sets that had come out during my 2-year mission. And I quickly realized that not only had Lego Star Wars made dozens of new sets, but most of them weren't that impressive. I saw a gap in the quality of Lego Star Wars sets after returning home from my church mission. Lego Star Wars used to be up here and it's still it was very popular. It had a few bumpy patches with the clone helmet holes and all that. But generally well received, even with those sets. And the steep prices, that's another thing. I still bought several sets before my mission because I didn't want to miss out on those Star Wars sets before they retired because I wouldn't be able to get them during my mission. And so I bought a bunch. And after returning home, the bar for someone who has been gone for 2 years is noticeably more lower. Like I said, it was up here, and I feel like Lego Star Wars is down here for the sake of this visual here. I realized a few weeks ago that I haven't even bought a new Star Wars set with my own hard-earned money in well over a year. The last set I bought was the Arc 170, which is a controversial set in itself, in January of 2025. It's well into 2026. And that's not to say that they're bad, but as a broke college student, I can't afford to buy Lego all the time. And so I have to pick and choose. But the fact that I haven't picked any new sets or chosen any new sets, that should tell you something. I love Lego Star Wars. I've been working on this video for a while now, and as time passes, I find even more people turning away from Lego Star Wars. I recently watched a fellow creator on YouTube build and review fake Lego Star Wars sets. He seemed mostly impressed with them, but out of curiosity, I went to go check the comments, and literally, I didn't see a single comment that was bashing on him buying fake Lego. They were all positive, in agreement with him and how he was saving so much money. And Star Wars sets these days, people are turning away from them and going to alternate, cheaper solutions because Lego Star Wars just isn't what it used to be. As a loyal fan, I feel like I've earned that ability to say that. It's quite disappointing when you look forward to new Lego Star Wars sets and they just aren't that good. And so these are the factors that contribute to this. Number one, obscurely steep prices. Now, I know Lego is a premium product. It's like the Apple of the toy world, right? But I feel like they are taking advantage of us as fans. An example of this is the price increase of battle packs or any of the clone sets for that matter. Lego knows we love clone sets, so why wouldn't they jack up the prices because they know we're gonna buy them? But we see here in 2026 and late 2025, that's just not the case. We see the MTT or the Turbo Tank, the 327th Battle Pack, all these great sets, but the prices are just insane. And the builds in themselves are not that great either. I feel like I want to build other creators' builds or even my own because I find them way cheaper and better. And I'll talk about that in a minute. Number two is stickers. Now, as a whole, Lego, not just Star Wars, Lego should not be putting stickers in their sets anymore. In 2025, Lego made over $12 billion in revenue. You can find it on their website. And many other Lego competitors are not including stickers in their builds. I mean, I've seen so many knockoffs where they just have prints all the time. So why are they still doing this? We're paying that premium product. Lego's a premium product. Everybody can agree with that. But why are we still getting stickers? I don't know. Whatever. Number 3 is inaccurate minifigures. Now, this is a big deal in Star Wars. We see a lot of clone troopers getting this. We're not seeing camas like those waist capes. We're not seeing good pauldrons. It's just, I feel like Lego Star Wars minifigures are getting a shaft. We see so many good Ninjago minifigures these days, or heck, even the CMF series, the collectible minifigures, they're just doing great right now. But many Star Wars minifigures just aren't up to the level they should be anymore. And I'm thinking of, in particular, modern clone troopers. And number 4, this one surprised me, but the actual build of the Lego Star Wars sets, they're just not good. And I'm not saying I'm better than Lego designers by any means, no, but a lot of the sets just aren't what they used to be. And I'm not exactly talking about the smart brick. I feel like we as fans have just bullied Lego enough over the smart brick. I'm not talking about that. I don't think they're good. End of story. But I'm talking about sets that just have incredibly mediocre builds. I'm talking about the new busts, especially Yoda. In fact, when this set got announced, I was sitting in class and I literally laughed out loud at how bad and goofy it looked. Another example of one that I personally dislike is the Death Trooper Battle Pack, or the new BB-8. The builds just aren't good. The price is just not it. I also need to mention the smaller sets we are receiving from Lego Star Wars has been downscaling a lot. The sets have been downscaled, which is fine. As a broke college kid, that's nice. I can afford to purchase a TIE Fighter or an X-Wing. But I would much rather have a bigger, better set that maybe has a little bit more price than just a mid set. I also noticed after 2 years that there are so many 1-star reviews on the Lego Star Wars sets these days. Various websites and sellers and whatnot, but that's why I don't think I'm the only one who thinks these opinions. I can't be the only one who thinks the prices, the minifigures, the builds, all this stuff I've been talking about isn't good. It's getting out there, and it's sad to me. I know this little bit here is a long shot, but Lego, if you're watching this video, first off, hey, what's up? And second, please take consideration in these things that are being said. And if there's something that we as fans are missing, come explain them to us. Explain why the prices are high. Explain why we have so many stickers. Explain why the minifigures aren't accurate. Explain why the builds aren't that great anymore. Please just come out and say something. Don't leave loyal fans in the dark. I hate that I'm making this video because I love Lego Star Wars so much. And it's killing me that I have to have my voice be shared in a negative connotation. I don't like that. So please consider making some changes, whatever that may be. We look forward to seeing what you do next. At the end of the day, I will always love Lego Star Wars. It almost feels like the prodigal son story. I don't know if y'all study the Bible, but it feels like a parable that was given. I just hope that Lego Star Wars comes back to us someday. I hope they do find their way back to us and what was once great. That is why I think Lego Star Wars is dead in 2026. I know that I'm sure it could come back at a later year. I hope soon, maybe 2027, maybe later this year. That would be amazing. But right now, it's just not it. But please comment down below your opinions. Subscribe so you don't miss any of my regular mock content. I mainly build Lego creations. And I'll see you guys next week.